Theodore Roosevelt. Elected in 1901, he was the 26th President of the United States. Born on October 27, 1858, in New York City, he was the second of 4 children. His father, Theodore, was a well-known businessman and philanthropist. His mother, Martha, was a Southerner raised on a plantation in Georgia. As a teenager, he decided that he would join a program of gymnastics and weightlifting. Thereafter, Roosevelt became a lifelong advocate of exercise and the strenuous life. As a young boy, Roosevelt was tutored at home by private teachers. He traveled widely through Europe, the Middle East, and lived in Germany for 5 months. In 1876, he entered Harvard College, where he studied a variety of subjects. Roosevelt then enrolled in Columbia Law School, but dropped out after 1 year to begin a career in public service. He was elected to the New York Assembly and served 2 terms from 1882 to 1884. A double tragedy soon struck Roosevelt in 1884. His wife gave birth to a daughter. 2 days later, Roosevelt's mother died of typhoid fever, and his wife died of kidney disease within a few hours of each other. For the next few months, the devastated Roosevelt threw himself into political work to escape his grief. Finally, he left his daughter in the care of his sister and fled to the Dakota Badlands. After returning to New York, Roosevelt continued his writing career. Roosevelt also resumed his political career by running unsuccessfully for mayor of New York City in 1886. He was appointed to the U.S. Civil Service Commission, and he was reappointed to the commission. Roosevelt served dutifully as a commissioner until he accepted the presidency of the New York City Police Board in 1895. In 1897, William McKinley appointed Roosevelt as Assistant Secretary of the Navy. He agreed to run for governor against Democrat Judge Augustus Van Wyck, the candidate of Tammany Hall. Roosevelt carried the election by just a few thousand votes.
The great fundamental issue now before our people can be stated briefly. It is, are the American people fit to govern themselves, to rule themselves, to control themselves? I believe they are. My opponents do not. I believe in the right of the people to rule. I believe that the majority of the plain people of the United States will, day in and day out, make fewer mistakes in governing themselves than any smaller class or body of men, no matter what their training, will make in trying to govern them.
In 1901, Theodore Roosevelt became William McKinley's vice president, and when McKinley was assassinated in September of that year, Roosevelt assumed the presidency. At the age of 43, Theodore Roosevelt was the youngest man to ever become president of the United States. He was elected for 2 terms, from 1901 to 1909. Theodore was one of the main progressive presidents. He was also a Republican and was considered the bully pulpit. That means he stood up for what he believed in, and he wasn't afraid to say the truth. He got done what he wanted. He shaped what today's presidents truly are. Theodore believed in compromise and deals. For instance, he didn't believe that all trusts were bad. He wanted the government to act as a broker and found the middle ground between the middle class and the upper class. This was considered the square deal. He knew trusts had to be regulated, but he never was against them, although he was considered a trust buster. In 1902, he passed the Reclamation Act. It authorized the federal government to commission water diversion, retention, and transmission projects in the arid lands, particularly in the far west. It was the first national policy anyone had seen in the U.S. He passed Food Regulation Acts, which made the food packaging area more sanitary. The Meat Inspection Act from 1906 was created because the factories were getting exposed. The Food and Drug Act made companies list all the ingredients as well. He also created acts for railroads. The Elkins Acts prohibited rebates, which meant companies could not give coupons or discounts to other companies. The Hepburn Act further increased the government control of the railroads. Overall, his presidency was successful. He died 10 years after his presidency at the age of 60 years old.